Okay, I think I'll go ahead and get started. My name is Loring.Kaveney. I'm the president co-founder of WorkOutLoud, and we are very excited to make sure that everyone knows how to learn how to navigate and get the most out of their M3UGA's M3 community. And so what we'll do is we will be going through a live demonstration. So here's our agenda. As you can see, I wanted to introduce myself. Again, my name is Loring.Kaveney. I'm the president co-founder of WorkOutLoud. Now, WorkOutLoud has only been around this platform for 11 years, but what's nice to share with all of you is we have a clear understanding as of what is important to the users, the board members, and the partners. Those are three strong pillars that really create a strong community. And we not only promote the user community to user groups, but also associations and private companies. So just wanted to touch on that really quickly. It is an independent community, so what that means is anyone can invite anyone that they'd like to into this community. We have a great search engine optimization, so if people are searching for M3 user groups or products or partners related to Infor, they'll be able to find this community, and then they can go ahead, become a public member, although there is a private membership that does cost extra for your company, but it's definitely very valuable to take advantage of it because there's additional educational webinars that are held as well as documentation. So if you're not a member of the M3 group, make sure that you become a member. If you'd like to learn how, you can certainly contact me as well. So what we're going to be going through today is how we update our profile, which is very important. And the reason why it's important is because you have the ability to find people just like you, as well as following partners, the user group, and individual people if you choose to. And I'll be showing you how to do that. If you're wanting to also connect with a particular type of profile because you're in the process of maybe implementing or you're looking for some service from a particular partner, such as Doppio or anyone else that is our current partner, you will be able to follow their group. And when they post information within their group, you will receive a notification. I'll show you how easy it is to follow that group. And then, of course, sharing ideas, important topics. We have, forums that you're able to ask a question. And then, of course, there's been a tremendous amount of dialogue within the community, which has been very helpful for, I think, people asking questions and getting answers and just going back and forth. And then, of course, you can close that forum when there is a conclusion. So the importance of this slide, I only have a couple slides, but the importance of this slide is we wanted to just make sure that everybody has a very simplified experience within our community platform, because we do have notifications that bring you back in. We do have the event calendar. So what's happening in Arizona in the next few months at their conference, as well as any educational webinars, just register for that, any blogs, thought leadership, a feed. So we have created a platform where you can go where all of your discussions pertain to the M3 products. And then, of course, three very important things we want to touch on, which is we want people to engage, to retain, and grow. And so facilitating, discussions beyond the event, allowing you to be able to connect with people before, during, and after a conference, which is very important to actually create a very strong community. And then supporting conversations, continuing to allow people to learn. So for instance, if you're wanting to learn how to do something, keep track of what partners are presenting, and then it might incite you on a different role or maybe a partner that you need to start working with. And of course, it's important to be able to track. We do track our engagement. So we do know for a fact that the average member is in here for about an hour. What are they doing? They're reading a blog, they're watching an educational video, they're researching, they're looking around, trying to connect with other people, or even asking questions. And when we're tracking engagement, we know where people are going and what they're clicking on. So, and also to increase member retention, the only way we can do that is to be able to have thought leadership and focused information that wants people to continue to come back. And then, of course, we also let people invite their peers. So we do have an invite mechanism, which is going to allow people to invite their peers in or their partners. Obviously, there's acquisitions, roles change, new employees for companies. Anybody can invite anybody into this community, and I'll show you where that's located. This is a very important slide I want to share with you. There was a survey that I sent out to one of our other Infor communities, but I think it does pertain to the M3 as well, because it is consistent with what I've been hearing and what we have discovered, which is the importance of the community. As you can see in the lower left-hand corner, it's very valuable. We had 36%, and there was over 10,000 in this community that took this survey. And then, of course, how often do they come back in here? And I was seeing 45% frequently, monthly. What are they doing? 36%, you can see they're watching webinars in person, not in person, I'm sorry, live or recording. Obviously, it's more important for in-person meetings. But if someone is not allowed to because of budgetary situations or implementations or family members or whatever it is that is not allowing them to get away, you still have the ability to connect with people. And of course, best practices and Infor upgrades. Why recreate the wheel when you have hundreds of people that are already going through what you're about to approach? Touch on this really quick here. It's not over. We're going to go into a live demonstration, but I just wanted to say thank you for attending. And then you can certainly contact me at any time. I am online all the time within the community, as well as feel free to text me, call me, email me, and I'm certainly here to help with anything I can to improve the success of this community. And of course, if you have any suggestions or ideas, software, anything is possible with software, especially when you own it and you've written the software 100% in-house. Anything is possible. So with that said, let's go ahead and go into a live demonstration and take a look at the M3 community. So with that said, let's go ahead and start with our tour. So this front page, as you can see here, you have the ability to search by people, groups, or content. I'm excited to share with you that we are about to announce our AI bot. And what's exciting about that is you're going to be able to ask it a question, and we're going to be able to tee up the information that you're looking for based on what is inside this community. And there's a tremendous amount of content that has been added, as well as presentations and videos and blogs. And so we're wanting to make it easier for you to just be able to ask a question, and then we tee that up. So watch for that announcement. Again, this front page, you can see this is standard overall what the community is. So as of right now, over 1,000 members, how many posts online, questions, and events. This continues to grow. You can see our mission statement and vision statement, of course. On the left-hand side, again, this pertains to me as an individual person. We've got the conference right front and center. Feel free to click on this to learn some more. I know we are very excited for this conference. It's always been a very successful event, so we're very excited for that. Connect with your peers, your members before that conference so you can continue that conversation when you get, face-to-face. There's events right here. There's also blogs. There's videos, educational videos. I see that this was a video, and because I'm a member with M3UGA, that's why I'm able to see this video on the right-hand side. If you are not a member, you would not be able to see that. So I just once again want to really promote to become a paying company member of this community where you're able to have additional value added to your experience. And of course, we've got the leaderboard here, and then documentation that has been uploaded, and then any groups that I've followed. So now let's go ahead and start talking about 3 main important items within this presentation, which is only 30 minutes long. So what you're going to want to do is go to the upper right-hand corner, and that's where you go ahead and select on your profile picture and edit your profile. Everyone should make sure that their profile is up to date, because there's some tremendous value to wanting to connect with other people just like you. So for instance, we're collecting what's the profile type, what industry you're in, what is the role that best describes your main function, primary function. And then of course, there's some additional items. When you answer these questions, that is where you're going to be able to go into an area where you can select a pie chart and connect with people just like them. As I'm still on this area of editing your profile, I wanted to touch on notifications. You do have the ability to receive daily, weekly, immediately, or never. The benefit of immediately is because if someone has a question and you might be following a group or a partner, you're going to receive a notification immediately, and then you can be included in on that dialogue. The way that we built this platform is we don't want to assume that people will remember to come out to this community, and that's why we prompt announcements as well as notifications to go out to the members that want to receive the information, depending on what group they're following and how their profile is set up. So I just got done mentioning the importance of making sure that your extended profile is up to date, because everyone has, there might be promotions, there might be acquisitions, things have changed. You're going to go back up to your profile and you're going to select tools. When you select tools, that is where you're going to want to go to analytics. So just scroll down to analytics. Once you select analytics, this is real-time information. I do want to point out, you can see the growth of the community on the left-hand side, but also, or I should say the population, and then the growth, how we have unique new profiles. So we're continuing to gain new profiles within the company. We have not uploaded profiles. They have organically all come into this community based on educational webinars or the annual conference. This is where they go to register for any of those items. Now, if you recall on the profile, extended profile, where we said, what is your industry? This is where if I wanted to, I could go ahead and select distribution. When I select that, as it's 18%, I'm able to connect with any one of these people. So if distribution, that's the industry that I'm in, maybe I want to connect with particular people that are in here. So you can connect by following them, and then you can also connect with them, and you can also send them an instant message. Now over in the lower right-hand corner, I do have the ability to message anybody. So for instance, like Karen, who's on the board, we frequently, have a dialogue going back and forth. And so this is a way that you can certainly get in touch with me if you'd like to. There's also the help button on the on the right-hand side. And you can certainly contact me, and I'm more than happy to help you. It doesn't have to be a formal conversation. By scheduling a time, we can just go ahead and I can help you immediately. But this is a LinkedIn concept where you're able to connect and follow people. So we felt that that is very important, to be able to connect with people just like you. Again, it was in the upper right-hand corner. So you select tools, and then you go to analytics. And Mike, I see that you are interested in learning more about the conference. Excellent. There will be an email announcement. I believe that will be probably sent out next week. I know that Karen is in the process, who is on the board, who's been creating some communications, teeing up the excitement for this conference. So because you're a member of the community, you will be receiving some invites, and as well as email communications. So with that said, let's go ahead and go back to the home tab at the very top here. And let's touch on events. As Mike, you just wanted to know more information. So when I clicked on events, you can see these are events that I have recently gone to, but here is the conference right up here, right at the very top. So you can certainly go there and you can see where it's located, what topics are going to be discovered. This is a great picture from last year. So great participation, great dialogue, great learning. Definitely you want to plan on going and investing to attend this conference. That's my little plug-in. The other thing I wanted to touch on when I go back to events is there are educational webinars. So for instance, Columbus, they're having a webinar. You can very easily go to that and register. It is a venue just like today. And so all you do is just register for it. And you can go ahead and select the reg button to learn a little bit more about data migrations. So I would highly recommend to go to that one. They do a fantastic job with their educational webinars. Now let's talk about forums. We have had a lot of activity with the forums, which has been great. So this is a location where you can ask a question, and then that's where you're going to get dialogue. And as you can see here, this is a perfect example of people communicating back and forth, where you don't necessarily need to do the research yourself. There are other people that are in this community that are either gone through what you're looking for, or at least they can give some suggestions. And again, we've got great partners in this community where they're keeping an eye on this too, so they'll be able to help you. Let's go to groups. This is where you're going to want to follow any groups that are important to you. Now, I do want to touch on over here in the upper left-hand corner, this right here, this M3UGA customers, this is the paying membership. And I believe I think it's like $200 per company. And then you would have access to additional content and their educational webinars. Now, this M3UGA, this is a public, that's where the conference registration is held, as well as some general information. But I do definitely recommend you becoming a member. As you can see, we have 3 types of groups. We have special interest groups. We have sponsors, other known as our partners, and with special thank you to our partners, because it is because of them that has allowed WorkOutLoud to be able to promote and offer this platform to the members, as well as the board members of M3 for no cost. And so, for instance, again, we really appreciate the current partners that we have, and they have stepped up and done educational webinars and shared content, and they're contributing a tremendous amount of support in this community. So a special thank you to them. And then, of course, the user group right here as a whole. So make sure that you are following just by clicking on, if you see the blue button, follow it, and then that way you will receive a notification if something was posted in their feed. So you can see 3 days ago, we're going to have a round table, or no, will there be a round table? Someone had asked a question, and you can see there were 4 people that answered that question. And Steve, he's on the board, he's very reactive, and John is also very active. So again, really honored to work with this group because of the activity that is being surrounded by learning as much as they can and sharing as much as they can. With that said, let's just touch on another item, which is important. If you have any customers or peers that are not a member of this community, it's as easy as inviting them in, which is in the More area. And so when I select that invite, it's as simple as putting their email, their first name and last name. You can always change this message if you want to. You can also upload, but it's a CVC that you would just want to upload just their email addresses. Then it sends them an invite. It walks them through the process to create a profile. Does anyone have any questions? And Brian, thank you for sending information to Mike. I appreciate that. Brian is also on the board, Brian Hillman. Thank you for that. And let's touch on our partners. I think this is very important because, again, they are a significant part of this community because of their financial support, contribution with their knowledge, their thought leaders. They have educational webinars, blogs, best practices. They're willing to help out any way that they can. So, and I know all of them will be at the conference. So feel free to reach out to them before you meet them in person. They're always willing to help you and help educate you. So I just want to send a shout out to my amazing partners. What we have found is the average person that is in here, if I haven't mentioned it before, they're in here for about an hour and a half. They're watching educational webinars, they're reading blogs, they're researching sessions or last year's presentations to see what the conference is like. In fact, let's go ahead and go to groups. Let's just touch on let's go ahead and touch on Vince, because I know Vince has done some educational webinars and they've uploaded their videos. And so if this is what a group looks like, you can see they have a feed, they have videos, files, forms, but the videos I think I'd like to share with you because not everyone has the ability to attend a webinar during the day, during their work week, but you can certainly grab a cup of coffee and enjoy learning. And so you're able to just watch it right inside here. The importance was to be able to know how to navigate through the system and get the most information received and the most information shared. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day. I'll give you 4 minutes back and look forward to seeing you in Arizona. Feel free to contact me with any suggestions, ideas, concepts, because anything is possible with software. Thank you. Take care.